Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you. November 7th, the first Friday of November. This is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. Stephen Peak, I'm TJ Walker. On the other side of the cement wall is producer Matt Childress. And we hope that you're having a great start to your weekend, because that's what Friday is, the start to your weekend. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, the Game Day Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. Go on and text it in. We'll get to it at some point today. We're live on the YouTube, so watch the YouTube stream. We're appreciative of that. Producer Matt does a great job with it. Stephen Peak, how's your Friday going? What's up?
It's gloomy outside. I'm still excited. Kentucky plays the second round of the BBN Tip-Off Classic presented by Kentucky Tourism tonight versus Valpo. And if both teams are 1-0 in the BBN United Tip-Off Classic presented by Kentucky Tourism.
It's a big one tonight.
Huge.
Kentucky wins this one. They're going to be in a pretty good spot. Can they clinch tonight?
I don't know if they can outright clinch. There's also a point differential you got to consider. Kentucky's plus 26.
I would think I don't know when Nichols plays Eastern Illinois. Is it Eastern Illinois?
It is
the other
tonight.
Team?
Yes.
If Nichols beat Eastern Illinois, I think, and Kentucky wins, then I think they would clinch. Because if Eastern, it'd go down to the point differential.
Yeah, so we might still have to wait till next Friday.
On Saturday, but fan bases are already talking smack to one another for the basketball rivalry. Tuesday night at the Yum Center, 8 p.m., and U of L is jacked up for it. Kentucky, we'll see how they respond. They will obviously be asked about it in the post-game press conference, hopefully in a win.
Is that?
I don't know, probably about 5 to 10 years ago would be my guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beacons, though. What's a beacon?
A beacon of light? A beacon
of
hope?
Is? Okay.
A beacon of...
Man, it feels like you could have come up with something just a lot better than
Why not just like the cats? The Valpo, any animal starts with Valpo Vipers.
Oh, a viper would be kind of cool. I don't know very many vipers.
That'd be unique at least.
Yeah. That's weird because on Google it has Valparaiso Beacons, but then under their name it still says, are we allowed to say can we say it? Are we allowed to say the C word?
Oh, I don't know.
You said it already.
The C word, I know, and I may have made a big mistake because the C word's like the one thing that you can't get away with saying.
No.
Right?
Right.
It's nasty. However, they retired
Brusaders. It rhymes with Brusaders.
They retired Crusaders in 2021.
Okay.
The university announced its new nickname, Beacons, in August of 2021.
I feel more comfortable about it.
Right?
Yeah, I like it.
But why not just make your mascot then like two cute little
Make them the retrievers.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they get a little redemption with the cute dogs. Oh, while we're just kind of talking shop, I keep having these recurring dreams of my dog, and it's horrible. Any idea how to have him stop, Stephen Peak?
Sorry, I was reading one of the men's health game day.
I think it's got to be a step in the right direction. Maybe you should start. Maybe you should be like a nightgown and nightcap kind of guy from going forward.
Well, first off, I am already. Candle by the bedside, of course.
With the candlestick, like no lights on at night, you just walk to the bathroom with the candle.
But like dreams are so fascinating to me because why? Like our brains shut off, so it's shut off, but we still just go to like a fantasy land where sometimes it's amazing to the point of pleasure for some folks. And have a nice little sleep paralysis demon come into your dreams. Dreaming, I know it's not a Wednesday, but it can be incredibly weird, and it's not baseless either. I mean, we don't know for sure, but like what you're dreaming can impact your psyche, could be produced by your psyche.
You can.
And what you had missed, I was just joking. I keep having
Jalen Lowe's playing.
I keep having these like nightmares. Jalen Lowe is playing. I keep having these nightmares of my dog who passed away.
Oh, that's actually really sad.
I want them to stop, and I don't know how to stop. And like it's not like I like wake up in like a cold sweat screaming or anything like that. I have had a night terror before, but it's been probably 10 to 15 years, and those were weird. You just wake up like yelling, and you don't really know why you're yelling, and it's scary because you're yelling, but like you don't know why. Those aren't fun whatsoever. But in this dream, I'm like out in the woods looking for them, and I can hear them, but I can't get them. And it sucks, and it's horrible. And I've had it probably 3 times in the last week or so. And you just wake up, and you're like, oh, man, that's not fun. And then you go back to sleep, and life goes on. But if anybody's, I'm sure the dream interpretation is theirs. I miss them, and I want them, and, stuff like that.
Yeah, that one seems really self-explanatory.
I think that one's probably right on the nose. But how do I get back to happy dreams? At least I didn't dream about Zach Calzada money phones last night.
I was going through something like this also, where I was just having, there was no reason for it. I just started having all these nightmares, and it was just switching up the brands of melatonin.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, that was it. So
are you a constant melatoniner?
Sometimes I used to have really bad sleep problems, so they had me on Ambien, and they were like, take one of these and no more. And then after several years, I was like on 3 of those a night just to figure out a way to fall asleep. And
the YouTube viewers are probably laughing at me right now. I deflated my chair. I sunk down about 2 feet, and now I can't get it back up. And I'm trying. I'm not trying to be rude and interrupt.
Maybe you should go to Gameday Men's Health for that.
Yeah.
I was Matt. That's a good one.
I was struggling a lot. That is good. I was struggling a lot to fall asleep. Went to go talk to a psychiatrist about it. They helped me out. They got me on some other medicine that was able to like wean me off of everything basically. So that was very helpful. There's nothing worse than like there's lots of things worse.
A bad night's sleep.
But yeah, because it hurts your health. It hurts your motivation the next day.
It'll kill you in time.
It will, yeah. And taking same with having nightmares. Recurring nightmares are terrible, obviously, to having a good night's sleep. I was waking up. This was like a month ago, and I was just waking up in a sweat and just like really realistic, terrible dreams. And like, all right, I can't do this every night. So I hope that gets better for you, TJ, because I know it affects. It will affect your mental. No, I know, but it does affect how you feel. You actually, you wake up from one of those dreams, and you're like, man, I just kind of feel. Why do I feel so weird today? I feel kind of down. Oh, that's right. I dreamed that this thing happened, but it didn't. I used to say waking up from a nightmare actually feels better than waking up from a good dream, because like you have a dream like I won the lottery, and you wake up and you go, no, I'm still broke.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but you have
a happy dream with somebody you miss or somebody that's no longer with you, and you just want to stay in that dream for as long as you can. Where a nightmare, you do get this sense of just like, oh, that's not real.
God, yeah.
Can you imagine if it had been real?
I've had so many dreams where I've been like accused of murders that I didn't do.
Well, that's interesting in its own right.
Yeah, because prison scares the hell out of me. Oh, like really? The idea of it's like you have a few drinks, you're fine. You've had, but then you like hit a pedestrian who ran in front of you, and then you're in prison. So that idea just scares the hell out of me. So I've had these dreams where like I'm being arrested, and I wake up and then I feel really good. I'm like, oh, it feels so good that that's not actually happening.
See, I used to struggle. Well, I mean, I still struggle with it technically, but with I used to have really, really bad anxiety growing up. And I used to get night terrors as a little kid. And then that had developed into when I was in like middle school to high school, I used to get sleep paralysis all the time. So then I started going to therapy, and they were like, they were like, "Do you take any anxiety meds or anything?" I was like, "No, I didn't know I was supposed to be doing that." And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's all anxiety induced. Like all the weird dreams
Sure.
are you having, like all these sleep problems you have, they're all anxiety induced." And then I took some for like a little bit, and then I kind of got off of them. But like now, I just don't even have dreams anymore. It's weird. Like I just kind of wake up.
Yeah, sleep of the dead, they say, right? But you know what dreams I used to get?
What's that?
And dude, I'm telling you, this is like one of the weirdest things. I'm not even joking, and it's very specific to one opponent that Kentucky would play. It's a Kentucky dream. I would have very realistic dreams of Kentucky football and basketball games versus Louisville, and then the game would go almost exactly like my dreams. It's happened several times just for that game. Because living in Jefferson County, that's the big game coming up on Tuesday. And when they played in the Final Four, like that week, I had like at least 2 dreams where the game was kind of close, but Kentucky was in a somewhat comfortable lead, but Louisville was right there, and everybody's nervous. And then football, I remember, I think it was the 2009 game. It was the game where the Louisville player muffed the punt, and Kentucky recovered, and Hartline threw a touchdown pass, I think, to Randall Cobb. Whatever year that was, I want to say in 2009, maybe it was 2010. But yeah, I had that dream where like Kentucky threw a late touchdown pass in a game we thought they would win by a lot, and then that happened. So I'll let you know. I'll let you guys know if I have any dreams between now and Tuesday of what's going to happen.
You most certainly will have to let us know. It was interesting. You were talking about getting cleared off of like sleeping pills and aids and whatnot. When I was in 6th grade, I got addicted to Tylenol PM, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Oh,
if I didn't have it, it was like you're just not sleeping. You're just not gonna.
How'd you feel waking up on those?
Fine.
Really? I feel terrible if I take something like that.
It may have not been specifically that, but something along those lines. It was pretty heavy dosage. But then when I didn't take it, it'd just be like I'd be laying in bed, and I'd look at the clock, and it'd be midnight. And be like, well, this sucks. I've got to get up at 6:30 for school. This is horrible. And I'd look at the clock again, and it'd be 1. And I'd be like, oh, no. Now it's only 5.5 hours of sleep. And you'd keep doing this. And I don't remember how I got off of it, but I don't take sleep. I've never really taken any sleeping aids ever since unless I'm sick. And if I'm sick, it's just like I desperately need a good night's sleep. But really, that was such a miserable experience. I was like, I'm never consistently going to rely. And I know melatonin supposedly doesn't have any like addictive nature, but a good night's sleep is addictive. So I think like it's not necessarily sometimes the drug, but it's how you justify the means at the end.
It's also if you just use that stuff enough, then your body becomes dependent on it without it or not. You can't really sleep without it.
To an extent, yes. I mean, melatonin is created in your body. So there is, you're just giving yourself a little bit extra of it. But I've also noticed it has a pretty short half-life, whereas Ambien, Tylenol PM, I've noticed I had to keep upping my dosage for it to work effectively. And Ambien's weird, man. Like
maybe it was Ambien that I was on potentially.
It's a prescription.
I don't.
Okay.
No, whatever I had was not.
That stuff kind of makes you hallucinate. There were times when I'd wake up and go, "Oh God, I was on social media while on Ambien," and I'm like, "What did I post? Oh, can a fish survive in soup? Something just stupid like that, you know?" And you have to go back and check, did I like anyone's post?
Start looking through your text messages.
Yeah. You would forget that you did. I would literally wake up and not remember that I did stuff.
Didn't some people get in trouble on
Roseanne
driving on Ambien and stuff like that?
Who was it? Was it Roseanne that said something she shouldn't say, and she was like, "I was on Ambien." And I was kind of like, "Yeah, I never like took Ambien and became racist." But I could totally see where like you took Ambien and you didn't like, whoops, shouldn't have said that. I think I would go back and like make it like, why did I post that last night? What was I doing?
We were on a golf outing one time, and my stepfather accidentally took an Ambien instead of his allergy pill in the morning.
Oh no!
And our tee time was like 6:45. 7. It was just the sun had just broke while we were getting ready to go out there and tee off, and so we were just like keeping an eye on him throughout the round. I mean, we were like slightly concerned he could just doze off potentially or fall over. And he didn't. Everything went okay. He was very relaxed, and he ended up having an incredible round of golf.
Wow.
And he was like, I may need to start. He was joking, but he was like, maybe I'll start doing that more often. But just a little sleep talk to get us going here on Kentucky Roll Call. Not to put you to sleep, however. That would have been the Thursday night football game last night. That would do that. That was not even – I think PFT commenter had a tweet, and he was like, last night's football was so bad that it was bad. It wasn't even the fun kind of bad, where it was just sloppy and terrible and hijinks left and right. It just was not a great football game.
Very Kentucky Auburn-like.
It really was, but I had a rooting interest in that one, and I had no rooting interest. So I watched U of L last night. Producer Matt looked great again, I thought. I think defensively you all have got some question marks, and the level of competition is not great, but that's what these games are for. But, yeah, I think if you're a U of L fan, you've got to be pretty pumped up heading into the rivalry game, and I think that you are.
I definitely am. I mean, the offensive output was incredible last night because my biggest question was, coming off that, what was it, the Bucknell game, they shot like 40-something threes in or something like that.
Yep.
Well, they still shot a lot, but they only made 10, still broke that 100-point mark. Like, they pounded in the paint.
10 is a lot of threes. I've heard a couple of U of L's guys be like, we only made 10 threes last night.
I was thinking about that on the way here.
That's pretty solid.
I mean, it's solid, like, comparative to 1 for 13.5, for another team. But, I digress. But
you're no argument,
10,
no pushback.
Like, I'm saying in comparison to, like, one game to another, it was good to see that, we weren't on a night we weren't really shooting really well. We didn't push it, and keep forcing it. Like, they changed the game plan a little bit. I do agree with you with the defensive questions, though. It looked like when we were trying to press, we would get too fast. We give up too many open shots, especially behind the perimeter. Jackson State definitely made a lot of really tough threes last night, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was a fun game to watch, and it only made me more excited for Tuesday.
Now, Stephen Peak, the U of L fans have already forgotten about the Kansas exhibition game. They have gotten fat on terrible opponents, and they've already forgotten the one time that they played decent competition. They were just beaten down wire to wire.
Illinois beat Jackson State 113-55. They put up 60 points in the first half.
Louisville's really good.
They are.
Matt. They're good. They really are. I think they have legitimately one of the best backcourts in the country. But do you think U of L fans are maybe getting a little ahead of their skis?
I don't.
You think it's perfectly skied?
They look like one of the best offensive teams in the country right now.
Not behind, not ahead, just right on.
I mean, dudes are having fun watching basketball. Can we not have fun?
No. Who's saying not have fun? Are expectations properly tempered?
I think
and the answer is probably, I say no. I disagree. But, it's sports. Who really cares at the end of the day, right? They go wild, and you'll be humbled in time. Maybe it's not Kentucky that does it, but I don't think this U of L team.
I think Louisville fans, but it's not surprising, TJ.
They do it every time, yeah.
And it's how they've been so bad for several years in a row. And then last year things got better, but then they got beat in the first round of the tournament. And I get it. I would be excited too. They look good, and they are good. I'm a Louisville hater, and I'm willing to admit Louisville has a good squad this year. They're going to win a lot of games. They're going to win a lot of games in that ACC. They are the second best team, and I'll tell you what. I think that they can give Duke. I mean, they play them twice this year, right?
Yes. Play home and away.
I think they can beat them once. So they might win the ACC. I think Louisville fans have every reason to be excited, and I'm glad that they are, because I said it yesterday, this rivalry I would argue, it was the biggest college basketball rivalry in the nation. North Carolina, Duke play each other 2 times a year, sometimes 3.
Stupid.
And when you play home and away and you split, who gets the bragging rights? And there's no conference pride that comes from Kentucky and Louisville fans. We don't share the conference together. We don't have anything that tethers us. We don't have a professional team that tethers us. This is it.
I was in a group message where Kentucky fans were saying, I'm pumped for Tuesday, but I care more about Tennessee as a rival now than I do U of L. And it was a back and forth, and it was basically just geographical more than anything. But I will say this, like the Lexingtonian UK fans in majority sided more with I care about the Tennessee game more. And I started to think about it, and I was like, well, the Tennessee game does factually matter a hell of a lot more than the Louisville game does for basketball and for football. But while we're on basketball, let's just keep it on basketball. That's 2 games. So 2 games greater than 1. That's just basic math. And conference standings, SEC tournament standings, NCAA tournament power, you're jockeying for position there. That is the only comparable between UK and U of L. Is the UK U of L game, whoever wins it will have a quality win on Selection Sunday. Even though it's the 3rd game of the year, it's going to stick with you throughout the season, and that is not nothing. You get bragging rights for sure, but you also get a very important quality win early in the year that could jump you a seed line when it's all said and done. Who really knows? But that's bragging rights, and that is literally all that's on the line Tuesday for UK U of L. When Kentucky plays Tennessee, there is just factually more things going on in that game. But growing up in Louisville, I care a lot more about the UK U of L game than I do the Tennessee one. But it did make me think, should I feel that way? Should I change my opinion on it? But then again, I do have to deal with U of L goobers on the regular. They're in my mentions left and right, especially this week.
Oh, yeah, they're very vocal right now.
I'm arguing with somebody right now. Ethan Moore is the same saps who wear UK gear to U of L games when they're not playing the Cards. U of L fans have got to stop caring about what adults wear, the color of their shirts in public. I can't think of any more loser behavior. But if somebody wore a U of L shirt to a UK Michigan game, you'd say something to them.
I've literally seen it.
I wouldn't. Why would I care what another adult is wearing? You have to be the biggest loser on the planet to, like, snicker and talk to somebody. Did you see what that guy 2 rows down is wearing? I can't believe it. Why would you care? It's a shirt. It's another human just dressed themselves. It's a different color than the one you like. Move on with your life. How big of a loser do you have to be? And U of L fans for over a decade have cared about the color of other people's shirts at their sporting events. And it is just as little brother gets. Move on and grow the hell up, U of L media.
Be happy they bought a ticket. Not many people are buying tickets to watch your team play in the Yum Center. Even now that you're good. Lots of empty seats. Man, they built that arena, used taxpayer dollars. Did the default on it, too. And they can't even fill it up. It will be full on Tuesday. But, man, like, even last night, what was the excuses for that place not being full?
I don't know. Producer Matt, what was it?
Like last night?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have any excuses for last night.
I don't really care so much about attendance talk.
No, I don't either. But it is like, if don't be upset. Then the Kentucky fans buy a ticket.
I agree.
Go.
I agree. I think that, hey, thanks for being here and spending your dollars to help U of L athletics.
Yeah.
It's just the perfectly adult, responsible response that you'd have there. By the way, a little breaking news. According to Stephen Peake's employer on 3, Disney and YouTube TV remain far apart in their ongoing carriage negotiations.
Is this even news?
Are
you surprised at this point?
I'm a little surprised, I guess, if we're being honest.
I've already given up on this whole thing. It's over.
Have you?
If it hasn't stopped now, if Pat McAfee, an employer of ESPN, is coming out saying, please stop it, it's only getting farther apart, we're never getting it back. We might as well move on. Forget about it. Or you're either going to watch sports, you're going to give in and watch sports, or you're just not going to watch sports.
At some day, YouTube TV is going to have ESPN programming, right?
I hope so. But then again, like if they do, TJ, you and I are both YouTube TV people. We're going to pay twice the amount we're paying now, according to what we're coming out with. Is it going to be worth?
I don't know. I don't know.
The longer this goes on, the better it looks for Disney.
You're making me a little. Does it? Nothing looks good for Disney.
People are going to start dropping out of YouTube TV.
They're going to start dropping out, and then they're going to hold all the cards, and Disney's just going to make Hulu cheaper, and then YouTube TV is going to have to cost more.
And that is what they're going to do because
I'm never giving in to Disney.
Live TV is only good for like breaking news and sports. That's it. Those are the only 2 things. So that's the reason people have live TV subscriptions is for sports and breaking news. So. Yeah, they have it. I mean,
you're maybe talking too much sense, producer Matt.
I hate to bring it down. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I think you may change my opinion on the whole thing. I just figured at some point they were going to not be such greedy butts. But.
What's that Kentucky Louisville game on?
ESPN.
That's good.
8 o'clock. 3rd game of the year.
I would like to see what the
November 11th.
YouTube TV cancellations are in November in Jefferson County.
I'm going to stand strong with you, YouTube TV, but I'm just wasting money because outside of sports, there's not much there that I really need to watch.
I want to stress this. I'm not going to drop my stuff and go to Hulu. I'm just saying that if you're right, YouTube TV will eventually get it back. It's just going to cost so much that I'm going to have to drop it anyway. I'm just not. But I'm not going to give my money to Hulu. I'm just not going to. I'll go find a legal streaming service if I have to.
I did have a listener reach out and give me their Spectrum login, in which case I'm very appreciative and thank you very much for that. So I guess I've got an outlet. I've got somebody looking out for me. But yeah, it's a tough spot. I get it. At the end of the day, we just want to watch sports, and Disney doesn't care about us, unfortunately.
They ruined Star Wars. Now they ruined my favorite sports.
Yep, they sure did. And they made Disney World just completely unaffordable for families, which is a big no-no, in my opinion. All right, we're going to end the segment there. Jacob Polachek of On3. I've never been more excited for a Jacob Polachek update. The mice have completely and totally overran his house. Stephen Peak has an update on that, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that on air or not. What you told me about the mice situation regarding Jacob Polachek.
Which part?
A certain email.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay. And then we got to talk about Tyron Stokes, because that is one thing that we thought we were going to have Jacob maybe on Wednesday, and he let us know that he wasn't going to be able to. But we keep kicking the Stokes can down the road, and we need to be Stokesin, folks. It needs to be Stokesin time, and there's major drama in the Stokes camp. So we'll get an update from Jacob there. I'm sure he is just so sick of talking about Tyron Stokes.
He had to do it this will be third day in a row he gets on a show to talk about it.
And then, unfortunately, we will have to talk about the Zach Calzada money video. Ducky Roll Call, back after this.
Oh, nice song.
Raiders now on a first down with Schmidt over the middle, in the air, deflected and intercepted. And into Raider territory comes Dondre Tillman. And look at him gallop all the way inside the 35 with another flag down.
I think Stephen Peake's Adderall's really kicking in. He just did an entire radio segment during the commercial break. Peake, you gotta
Working.
That was the nice thing about Roush and I. We never talked to each other during commercial breaks. Usually just would make awkward faces at one another. No, I'm kidding. We would, but normally we'd just be like about not sports. It'd be like just the randomness of the world. Peake just did a whole radio segment on Zach Calzada, and it was gold, folks. You're in for a real treat. He's practiced it once, and he's ready to rock and roll. I thought that was going to be the talk of the town until Cason Pryor's quote after the game, and sure enough, that gets moved, that gets kicked to second. But not a great day for Zach Calzada, unfortunately, yesterday on the old social medias. If you didn't see it, if you've got no idea what we're talking about, he, in a response video to somebody that slid into his DM saying that he sucked, Zach Calzada responded by taking a video of him counting $100 bills and telling a fella named Garrett to get his money up. And go on, Garrett, get your money up. And I don't know, I didn't count each dollar bill, but I would guess it was around $6,000 to $7,000. I think
some people did, and it's over 10,000.
It was over 10,000. Yeah. It was a lot. There was no doubt about it. It was a lot. My little quick mental math had it around 6 or 7, but I was like, some UK fans gonna actually count how much money it was.
Yeah, and
it's not well received. Zach Calzada was a stretch to even be brought in as the transfer portal quarterback for UK. He had been in the SEC, several other stops. It had never worked. Injuries also were a concern. And UK fans thought it was head-scratching when Bush Hamden decided he was going to be the quarterback of the future for UK football. So, sure enough, we all know how it goes. He cannot complete a deep ball to save his life. He's really nowhere close on several of them. And he gets benched early in the season. Was it game 2 or game 3? Cutter Boley comes in, and the rest has been history. Cutter Boley has been solid for Kentucky. He hasn't been amazing, but he has been better than Zach Calzada. So while Zach Calzada has been wasting away on the bench, and he wasn't free, he did get that money. The money that he was showing was paid to him by UK. He's just been chilling on the bench, and we haven't really heard too much about old ZC until Thursday night, yesterday, when that video surfaces. A lot of people have takes on it, most of them not positive for Zach Calzada. Some people want him kicked off the team, and let's see what Stephen Peake has to say about it.
Well, I'm conflicted, and maybe you and Matt could help me out on how to feel about this, because I have like 2 takes, and I don't know if that makes for like good radio, because they're kind of contradictory, so it's not like I want to typically have a take, pick a lane, go down it 100% and not look back. But in this one, I'm just a little conflicted, because on one hand, I'm like, who cares? This is a private DM. Somebody was trolling him. He was trolling them back. It's banter. I'm sure you get fans who get into your DMs, and it's tempting, I'm sure, to want to clap back. And so he did, because he's no longer really he's not playing. He's not going to play again. I don't even know if Cutter gets hurt, if they would throw Calzada back out there. But so that's how I feel on one side of it. That it's not that big of a deal. Who cares? He's a backup quarterback, and it actually shows that Kentucky's willing to pay their backup quarterbacks. I know he was supposed to be the starter. But the other thing, TJ, before I get to the other one, is we were at the media. We were at 3 practices, I think, and every single one of us was like, how is Cutter not getting first-team reps? It was just so obvious.
And for what it was worth, he didn't get hardly any first-team reps throughout the entire offseason, fall camp.
Hardly any. Not until that, like you said, after that Ole Miss game, basically, he's okay, we're going with Cutter. Let's get him first-team reps this week. And that was, I think, right before the bye week. Yeah. So then they had the bye week, then they go to South Carolina. So I'm like, why did you all pay this guy so much money? Like, even if it was $250,000, why? That's just right there. When Kentucky already, the complaint is that we don't spend enough on football, then we need to make sure that the money that we do spend is going to guys who are going to help Kentucky, win games, not just sit on the sideline and go on Snapchat and count money in front of fans. And then I have the other take that is, all right, the Kentucky football fan base, and really the Kentucky fan base, this is a blue-collar fan base. I love going up to the 200 sections and talking with, like, the true fans who sit up there for every game, and they have season tickets, and they have to budget to afford them. And then you have Zach Calzada counting $20,000 or $10,000 and, you know, kind of rubbing into people's faces. I brought up that Tyler Childers line from, like, Eating Big Time, where he's like, have you ever got to hold and blow $1,000 effing dollars? And he's saying he knows that, like, for a lot of blue-collar workers, you don't get $1,000 out of the bank and hold it.
Hey, what you need to do, Garrett, is your ass need to stop hating and go get you some money. But since you ain't got nothing, you go ahead and you count mine. Let's go. Hey, let's count.
I mean, the dude is 25 years old. He's an adult. He's 25 years old. All right, that's enough, Garrett. Count your money, Garrett. Get your money up, Garrett.
He sounds like an idiot. Like, he sounds like such an idiot.
I was going to, like, you know, talk however you want to talk. Who really cares? But
no, but I'm not. No, I'm saying, like, what he's saying. Like,
yeah, I agree. The whole thing is just
I
a
hope
terrible
he's investing
look for
some
him.
of that.
Now, he never thought this would get out publicly. That would be, I'm sure he'd be like,
and that's the other part of it. It's
he
a
would
private
say somebody was talking trash to me, and I responded. I never wanted it to get out. I would have never done that for a public video. I was just talking trash to this specific person. Okay, the issue is it's still just such a loser douchebag thing to do.
Yeah.
And secondly, yeah, that's unfortunate that you didn't want that video to get out there. Don't do videos like that, and then you never have to worry about it. That being said, do you have some issue with the guy? I mean, the guy who sent him a DM is a loser too, right?
Yes.
If you are sliding in
Do
to
not
college
message
athlete,
players.
anybody,
Don't
like,
message players ever.
send it to your friend group. Send it to your best friend,
Put it
your
in the group
wife,
chat.
your husband, whoever. You can talk trash there. But why would you want to hurt somebody's feelings just for hurting feelings?
And he's standing on the bench. Is he hurting you anymore?
Like,
Well,
yeah.
what's the one game that he Ole Miss?
But
Was
then
that
again,
all in Zach Calzada?
Garrett's probably young, I would imagine. I would bet that Garrett's a young adult, and this could be a learning experience for him as well. But he's in the wrong. Zach Calzada, you are an SEC quarterback.
You're 20. You're 25.
You're 25. You're an adult. You're just a grown man now. You're a grown man. Act like a grown man. That's not what we're doing. So
It looks weird. I mean, I don't like the look of him.
you can't do
flashing
anything
money.
about it.
I
They're not
agree
going
that,
to.
you know, we shouldn't be reaching out to players specifically, whether what sport or what league it is, whether they're professional, college, doesn't matter. At the same time, dude, like, I hadn't really heard a peep about Zach Calzada in like 2 or 3 weeks because of Cutter Boley, you know, playing. Like, he's not coming back. The season's not – there's no point in the situation of the season where you're like, oh, do you go back to Zach? Do you switch it out? No, that's over. Cutter Boley's playing. He's not even going to play. We've talked about the backup quarterback in the NFL being the best job in the world. No. A backup quarterback that's on NIL in a college football team is the best job in America.
Good job.
All you had to do was just not post this video and look ridiculous, and then nobody would have talked about you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
It's over. He's done. Like, he's not going to play in the NFL, so this doesn't affect anything like that.
Does it hurt him as far as like future jobs? Does anybody? I mean, people have said that. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the dude was flexing money on a dude on the internet. Like, if he was going to go work for a major corporation, they might be like, hey, what's this? But,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think him not posting it publicly is probably also like what is easily forgivable because it's just something he said to one person and not thinking, oh, this person's going to post it or maybe. But how do you not think like that? That's what I mean. Like, that's kind of dumb. Of course, you do that video. You think Garrett, who's obviously chronically online, isn't going to post it?
Yeah, that's a big miscalculation. But I don't think Zach Calzada's probably the smartest dude at the University of Kentucky.
I don't feel like he is.
That's okay. There can only be one person that is, and it's not Zach Calzada. UK just needs to let this go, and he needs to come out after the Florida game. They don't need to put him on the press conference, but just in the media break and just say, I made a mistake. That was embarrassing. I didn't think
does he need to do that?
Well, if he's asked about it, but
okay, but he's not going to get asked about it.
He shouldn't. Well, I don't know.
I mean, he's not
hide
going
from
to have
it.
the opportunity. They don't allow us to talk to the players.
He shouldn't hide from it. He doesn't need to be kicked off the team from a cultural standpoint. It is a bad look for UK that in back-to-back years you have this video surface and you have a player go to the concession stand. I think Chris Fisher tweeted out both those pictures. That's a tough 2 looks for the football program, but I've got some bad news about the last 2 years of the football program. I think that's a theme, right? Were you having these shenanigans? I mean, you had a couple shenanigans, but when UK was rocking and rolling, not really. You had the Drew Barker BB gun incident, but that was even before the Cats started to rock and roll.
And Bowden got in a fight
a
few times.
That was cool, though. We liked
that was toughness.
We liked the
That
attitude.
was Youngstown, baby.
And, Lynn Bowden was a bit of a wild card, so you just had to kind of roll the dice and live
But no,
with
I
that
can't
one.
think of anything. We had the trash can throwing against Louisville, but these are on the field things.
This is the correlation makes sense. When you're bad and the program has lapsed, you're going to have incidents like this happen.
Or is it because you bring in players like this that the
That's
program
the whole
lapses?
thing. But it all goes hand in hand with one another. Mark Stoops just hasn't been trying as much lately. He's not as motivated. There's the word. And when he's not as motivated, he's not on his staff's ass. And when the staff isn't evaluating, then you get people like Zach Calzada to be your starting quarterback, and that was a horrible decision. And, these things all go together. That being said, beat the Gators tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
They got the wrong team favored. I'm still feeling solid about the game. Where are you at?
I am 100%. My wife asked me yesterday because she's thinking about going. She's like, I don't want to go if they're going to lose. And I said, they're winning. They're winning tomorrow. They are.
That makes me all the more sure that they're not going to win, right?
Well, yeah.
Classic UK football when we're actually like, this could be all right for us. This is going to be when they go down.
Yes. It's usually when we start to get our hopes up. At least in recent years, we start to think, yes, they can actually win this game. They'll beat Tennessee Tech. They'll have 2 chances at a bowl game. So, yeah, they'll probably lose tomorrow. But I actually feel good about it.
It's funny, too.
But it's another chance, TJ, to no one cared about the Auburn game. Except for the fans who were there, the Kentucky fan base as a whole, I don't feel like they cared too much. But now you got some people might be willing to buy in just a little bit and then only to be let down again. That is how you another letdown for the fan base, because that was the one thing, TJ, was that, well, you can't really let us down anymore. But then I think if they don't win, you're going to have people calling into your show on Saturday pissed off again.
Yes, absolutely, and I'll be there. I'll be all for it. I'll be the one that's most ticked off.
Were they apathetic a little bit after the Tennessee game?
After the Tennessee loss?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably the most apathetic of the season.
I felt like it. I listened to a little bit of it, and I felt like the theme was.
That was just when people were like, all right, we don't care. Jacob just stuck his tongue at me in the window and then ran away. You can come on in. You don't have to wait till hour number 2, big dog. You can come in unless you got things you need to do. You're a very busy man.
He's a man of many hats, like literally.
I got a new one.
You got a
New
light.
hat.
You still have the sticker. Are you a sticker on the hat guy?
In case I get fired, I need to return.
Oh, well, that's a good
Are you
point.
still going on strike? He was going on strike yesterday.
Why were you going to go on strike?
I just need to mix things up.
Just that'd be good for the brand?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. And then now you just got toothpaste in his pocket. Why do you have toothpaste in your jacket pocket? Did you show that to the YouTube cameras?
No, don't show that to anyone, please.
You're on camera right up there. We got to see the whole thing.
Oh my God. I have a theory going, and I don't know if I should say it.
What's going on?
It's about another media member, Ben Roberts. I'm sorry, I'm calling him out. I think he's a werewolf.
Why is he a werewolf?
So it was a full moon 2 nights ago. I'm sure you guys both know that.
Yeah.
And he came to Pope's press conference with a hoarse voice.
His voice is gone. He couldn't
Gone.
do his Louis Rabot radio slot
Why?
yesterday.
Why was that? One day after a full moon.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks like what a human that turns into a werewolf and then they turn back into a human looks like. He does. I love Ben Roberts, but he doesn't have the best posture. He kind of leans and hunches a little bit.
I'm not talking about any of his posture. I don't know what I don't know.
Baggy
anything
clothes. He
Has
likes
he been
baggy
confronted
clothes
about
as
this?
well.
I'm just talking about the voice. One day after a full moon, it's a little fishy.
And he is a Packers fan, though. Pretty cool.
So yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with being a werewolf.
Yeah, you didn't say it was a negative.
No,
You just said it. Is anyone confronting him about this?
No, I
thought that was going to have something to do with the toothpaste.
I just thought.
Yeah,
of
what's
it.
the toothpaste have to do with?
You don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. You got. Do they know about the toothpaste?
I don't know if they saw it or not, man.
Okay. Yeah. So, Steven coming in hot.
Yeah, asking the tough question. This was unintentionally a hilarious start. Jacob, how are you, buddy?
I never
How's
been better,
life?
never been worse. How about you guys?
We're doing good. This is the energy I love when Jacob Polachek brings. It's just, if you didn't see the happy hour from last week, you did a terrible job though yesterday. I don't know if anybody should ever bring you back on.
I didn't want to try and recreate I
can feel everybody wanting you to like.
It's like everyone wants, and it's got to be organic. You can't force it.
I'll tell Tyler to never invite you back on.
Yeah, don't invite me back on any shows. I'm gonna leave right now.
No,
Great having you on.
No.
Thanks
Gotta
for
keep you around. There's much to talk about.
Yeah,
I'm glad things are going
please don't
well.
ask me too many questions. I took 6 Ambien and 7 Tylenol PM before I got here. So
Any weird dreams?
yes, I had 7 dreams all at once.
I love it. I love it.
It was about Ben Roberts being a werewolf. It was crazy.
That's Inception-esque. All right, 502-414-1450, the Game Day Men's Health text line if you'd like to text on into the show. One thing about UK Florida. It is interesting that another streak is on the line with UK Florida, right? Our entire lives was hearing about that stupid losing streak, and then once again, Kentucky has a chance to snap a stupid losing streak, not specifically to the Gators, but it's been a long time, Stephen Peake, since UK has beaten a Power 5 opponent at Kroger Field.
I didn't know if you were going with the Florida hasn't won in Lexington since 2019.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Kentucky hasn't won since beating Florida in 2023.
It's pretty wild. Hasn't beaten a Power 4 conference team. 0-10.
Incredibly embarrassing. Almost like doing like a money video. And that's on the line, though. Another streak to win. I'm feeling solid about it, but we'll find out tomorrow night. 7:30, another late one. Weather not as bad for Florida's first trip to Lexington in November since 1990. Not as bad as it could be. Sunday's going to be really, really nasty. But, Jacob, how you feeling about the Cats and Gators?
I'm feeling better after the Auburn win, but I still have picked them to lose every SEC game, and I'm probably going to be picking them to lose this one.
Yeah.
But I think they have a chance. I think it'll be close. Honestly, interim coaches scare me. I think they got something to prove, and going against an interim coach, I think is tricky.
Yeah, generally it's just kind of the team's more laid back, and that can be more beneficial than a team that's really uptight and trying, we got to win for coach to save his job, got to save his job. Well, coach is out. So now just play free and see what happens. And they looked really good in that Georgia game. They probably should have won that game, had plenty of chances to win it, and came up just short. I'm hoping that's more of a let go of the rope. Like, all right, we all bought in for that Georgia game, and it didn't have the payoff.
Yeah.
Now we got to go to cold Lexington to play a lifeless UK team. Why would we care about this game? We're not going to get up for it, and hopefully the Caps get them.
Man, you know what the average price of gas was the last time that Florida beat Kentucky in Lexington?
Oh, my goodness. What was it?
You don't want to take a guess?
281?
$2.58.
Okay.
Man, it's a long time ago.
What?
It's
16?
$3.52 now.
Was it 16? Or when was it?
2019.
2019. Okay. Yeah.
We used to do those things. 31 years, and the gas was 78 cents the last time Kentucky beat Florida. And we have a chance for a home winning streak against the Gators.
I'll take it. I'll take any. And I've always said that's one thing I've really respected and appreciated from Mark Stoops is turning that series competitive. I didn't think it was possible to make it competitive, and it has been. It does help that Florida has had a losing season in 6 of their last 13, and it may be 7 out of 14, which is just wild that that's actually the case. But UK, a chance to make things kind of interesting if they can get a win tomorrow. And they didn't look good against Auburn by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, the defense was good, but I needed to see them be able to find a way to win an SEC game. And at least they were able to do that.
I mean,
Auburn had a million chances.
Defense looked good, but I wonder. Auburn's offense is so bad
At every level, really.
Yeah, it's just
the running back's
terrible.
good, but
I don't know if they had to get rid of their coach, but they should have gotten rid of their play caller. It's the same guy. So Hugh Freeze was calling the play.
he has been fired.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
He's gone. If you didn't see that, they're not going to fire the Florida interim because they've already fired Billy Napier.
Does that do
Mark Stoops is the Grim Reaper.
Jalen Lowe's also playing. If you guys didn't know that.
Wow,
Jalen Lowe's playing?
How about that? Breaking news.
So if they go 5-7, people are wondering, is that enough to keep Mark Stoops' job? And I think if you look at the 5 wins, no, right? I mean, if you beat Auburn, who had to fire Hugh Freeze like hours after the game, and then you beat Florida, who has an interim head coach, how do you justify that's enough to bring back Mark Stoops? If you beat Vanderbilt or Louisville, that's one good win. So really, does one good win do it? I mean, it will. Actually, I have a feeling they will bring him back. But 5 and 7, you just can't, right? If those are your 5 wins.
Yeah, remember, it's Mitch Barnhart, though. You got the wild card of Mitchie B. You never know what he's going to do.
I can't go into
either.
the next season with
5,
this.
it's not nearly enough. But if you do get to 6, I do think you keep him.
Well, they are going to keep him.
But, yeah, if you get to 6, you're going to keep him around.
We can debate it, but
you're not going to burn $38 million for a dude where you said in the preseason if you got to a bowl game, that'd be a successful season.
Yes.
From the very biased perspective of someone behind a paywalled site that would make a lot more money if there's a coaching search, I think, it's tough to keep him after any amount of wins.
That's a great perspective. How about Jeff Goodman putting his top 25 behind a paywall?
That was weird. It was behind our paywall, but
yeah, I know it's your old coworker, so you got to talk nice. There was a lot of things.
Conversation.
A lot of things on 3 are worth the subscription. It's incredible. It really is. They pretty much bought everything. That's not one of them.
Subjective top 25.
Yeah.
Like that's thinking pretty highly of yourself.
Yeah, you want to see how I rank these teams? No, I don't care, Jeff. I don't care at all.
That's just the most Jeff Goodman thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's why we call him Jeff Goodman.
Yeah.
I've grown to love him.
To be fair, it's like you can get a subscription $1 for the first week. So
then is it worth it?
Now
It's only $1.
Now you all are just plugging the work. All right, get the hell out of here.
Promo code UK1.
These guys work really hard. They are worth even if you. I would only read maybe a story a week or two. These guys work hard. Support them if you can. 502-414-1450. I've been behind the paywall before. I've the Monday Insider Notes. Those were fun back in the day. All right, we've got Jacob in studio. We're going to save some of the actual questions we had for you in hour number 2. Until then, let me pull up that text line. I haven't even gotten to see it today. Hopefully it's not too quiet. Producer Matt, did you pick somebody to win the nachos from yesterday?
Oh, the person who either called me or Peak, whichever. I think they were calling me, but they're calling me Greta Thunberg. That person wins.
I'll find that person. I'll get in touch with
I looked
them.
at the text message before. That's also the same person who calls me doormat, so they won.
Oh, well, should we give it to somebody that's mean?
No, they're cool. I'm
Okay.
fine with them.
Okay, cool.
We're fine with some friendly banter around here.
Zach Calzada dreams of the day that he wakes up and his...
Well, do you want to continue with this one?
I don't know about that one. Zach Calzada also doesn't realize how bad of a look this will be to jobs when he applies. Football is over for good for him in 1 month. Such an absolute idiot, says this one texter. I don't think this should impact his jobs.
That's actually a
if
good
anyone's
point.
job, it should be Garrett's.
Garrett's, yeah. There you go.
Get that money, Garrett.
Yeah,
Like
Garrett
that
being
money,
mean,
Garrett.
sliding into people's
Like
DMs.
7 or 8, I'd say 10 years ago when like social media was really first starting to boom, that was the big thing is like whatever you post on social media is going to stay with you.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of over flooded and watered down so much that you probably couldn't get away with something like this more
They'll
now. than you could
Google him
before.
though, and this will be something that comes up. This is the biggest Zach Calzada story in Zach Calzada's life.
That is so unfortunate for him. Is that people will be like, he played D1 football. He was an SEC
look him up.
quarterback. Let me look him up.
Find that video.
They're gonna say, like, is that Garrett?
All right, well, hey, it was his freshman year. He was 18 years old. Give him a break.
This guy's not named
He's
Garrett.
25.
He was 25 years old when he did that.
No, this video is going to get him an NIL deal. That's my bold prediction. Someone's going to come in with an NIL deal. I don't know what it's going to be, but
I'm really worried that it could get him robbed if people think that he's just carrying that much cash, but he also did rob the University of Kentucky, so it's come full
So
circle.
did he go to a bank, withdraw that money just to respond to Garrett, or does he always have that?
Good question. Good question. Everybody be nice to Zach Calzada, but it was a bad look for him. Hour number 2, Kentucky roll call. Full house here. Did you cut off my mic? Okay. Cut off my mic, producer Matt.
Press the wrong one by accident. Sorry.
All right, I thought I heard something. We're back. It's all good.
Welcome back to the second hour of Kentucky Roll Call. I'm Stephen Peak. We got Jacob Polachek in the studio with us. TJ Walker just stepped outside to go grab some stamps. Jacob, you got something you got to mail?
Yeah, I have to mail something, but I do want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead and get to this.
I want to apologize for accusations I've made recently. I had another media member for being a werewolf. That was not based in any sort of true claims, and I apologize profusely.
We hope, do we want to say who it was?
Ben, I'm sorry.
There you go.
You are not a werewolf. I was mistaken.
Ben Roberts, not a werewolf. We are in the second hour of Kentucky Roll Call. TJ Walker is back in the studio, and we have some stamps here for Jacob.
I have to mail a letter.
Good,
Thank you.
Good stuff.
How much do I owe you?
What are stamps these days?
They're like $5 now.
Yeah,
right?
No, you're good, buddy. That one's on the house. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate
Jacob Polachek, Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, producer Matt Childress here on your Friday, Feel Good Friday. The Cats play basketball tonight, so all is well in the world. But we want to talk a little recruiting with Jacob. But first, let's talk mice, of mice and men.
Yeah.
So I've burned my house to the ground.
It's gone.
Seems like that was the only option, really.
There we go.
No, tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow's still Saturday. We are going to be sealing up the whole house.
Nice.
All of it, and then we just got to wait for the mice to die. So we've been...
Whoa, hang on. One of the big, circus tents sort of deal?
No, we're going directly targeting the entry points.
But when they fumigate
Precision
a house,
strike.
right? It's not like a fumigation situation.
Not to my knowledge, but
Okay.
I've never done this before.
I have PETA on the line right now. Watch what you're saying.
PETA, shout out to them. Steven, you want to
I got the email pulled up.
You got to talk about this.
PETA sent an email to us, said, "Hi, Tyler, Jack, Drew, and Jacob. We caught your recent discussion about the mice in Jacob's house. We appreciated the sentiment about wanting these small animals to live, just not in our homes. So we wanted to reach out with some information and tips for removing unwanted house guests humanely, which, when done correctly, is far more effective and infinitely kinder than lethal measures." There's a whole bunch more here. They also sent a link to some humane smart mouse traps. With kind regards, West Burdett, press officer, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. And are you taking? You're not taking. It seems like you're not doing this.
That may be the coolest thing PETA's ever done.
We're keeping them alive.
At least they didn't have to pour blood on anybody, right? Just a friendly email so they can do it. Way to go, PETA. All right.
Yeah,
good deal.
thank you, PETA. I will be trapping these mice, not killing them, and bring them to your office.
I think that's how they describe things. They're like, is this a pouring blood emergency or is this an email emergency? There's no in between there. It's just one or the other.
You're not going out hunting mice. It's just they've infiltrated your home.
It's just time to go.
I didn't invite any of these mice to my home. They just showed up. So I don't want them there.
Is it their home now, though?
It was for a little bit, but we're reclaiming this place.
You didn't happen to give one of them a cookie, perchance?
No, I didn't even give them any of my keys or anything, so I don't know how they're getting in. But no, I threw out all the food in the pantry, and so I don't know how they're getting in, but we're stopping it. We're sealing up all the entry points.
This has been almost a month.
Yeah, no, and when I come back next year, we'll almost be in that house.
The mouse has taken our sports, and now they're invading our homes.
Yep. The house. 502-414-1450 if you've got any questions or mice advice for Jacob Polachek. All right, are you just totally sick of talking about Tyron Stokes?
No,
are you stoked out?
I need to switch my gear from joking around to actually. I feel like this. Is
We can do a little buffer zone if you want.
Around.
We can pack. We can do a soft landing on Green Bay's terrible, embarrassing loss. Are you on the fire Matt LaFleur train yet?
What's his buyout?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I think I am on the fire Matt LaFleur train. I am not on the bring back Mike McCarthy train yet, but I think that. I think they should fire him, and I think they should make Jordan Love player coach.
Player coach, we don't have enough of them. Back in the day, not totally uncommon. That was just such a pathetic loss, and it's not even like the Panthers played all that particularly amazing. Their defense was really good, but just had so many chances and came away with a terrible home loss that will certainly cost Green Bay in some form or fashion between playoff seeding, the division, whatever it may be. I don't even know if we're a good team. I really don't know if we're a good team.
I watched that Pittsburgh game, and I'm like, okay, they found something.
But we were down big in that game, too, and it just kind of caught fire late.
They caught fire, and you thought, maybe they can take this into the next game, and they have the talent. I think we know they have the talent. They have games where they just look awesome at times, and I haven't really seen, maybe since that first game against Detroit, a really consistent effort from quarter 1 to quarter 4 from this team, and it's going to happen next week. I don't even know who they're playing next week.
Eagles, Monday Night Football.
That's right.
Eagles coming off a bye, but Packers 2.5-point favorites in that one. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Well said. It has been so inconsistent and just not a complete game outside of the one that you had mentioned. Maybe against the Commander Skins, but they're so bad.
That was like
that
week
one
2, wasn't it?
Doesn't really matter. Yeah, again, we're talking about the first 2 weeks of the year, and it's just been inconsistent.
Poor Jaden Daniels, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sucks.
Yeah. He'll be all right, though. He's got a lot of money.
For me, it would be one thing if this Kentucky team, this Packers team didn't have the talent, but I look at that team, they clearly have the talent. So when you're not lacking in talent, it's like you just got to execute.
I just don't trust Matt LaFleur. He always looks so clueless and confused and sometimes just borderline scared.
I believed in him so much those first couple of years, and now
and he's so good looking, too. Like, you just want it to be the total package, but it didn't work out for Cliff Kingsbury, and he was a good-looking gentleman as well.
So, make a lot of money, though.
The next Packers coach needs to be ugly. Very ugly.
Yep, absolutely. The sloppier, the better, I say. Okay, it's getting sloppy, though, with Tyron Stokes because now he's looking for a new high school. It is the start of the high school basketball season, so many people say this is not the ideal time to go looking for a new school, Jacob Polachuk.
Yeah, there's a lot of angles with this one. I guess we start from the beginning of few weeks ago, we started hearing about this, about maybe some issues at school, and then just the other day on Wednesday, it was announced that he had withdrawn from school, and now I think everyone's kind of in flux trying to figure out what's the next step for him. He's got a Final 3, Kentucky, Kansas, and Oregon, so there's there's a lot of angles you can take this. I think he's still figuring out what to do next, and I think that Mark Pope, I think we can start there talking about what Mark Pope said yesterday about a potential mid-year enrollment from a player.
Just any player.
Yeah, because Pope can't talk in press conferences about specific unsigned recruits. So I asked him about just how do you approach the potential for a mid-year enrollee? Would that disrupt the team chemistry and things like that? And he said, I think the big quote from what he said was that I think we have such a solid locker room. I'm not looking to add anything right now, but I don't worry about disrupting a team so much. So he didn't
leaving
close
the door open,
but he left the door open, and I think that's a very interesting comment from him.
It feels like, Tyron Stokes is a ball player. I want him at Kentucky. I want it to be like a DeMarcus Cousins situations where he comes to Kentucky. They straighten him out a little bit, But am I right to be concerned that this is like massive red flags?
Yeah, I think it just depends on how you look at it. I think that there's been a lot of issues, but it's not like he's in legal trouble. He got into a fight at school. You can look at that and just be like,
kids getting fights.
So is that what it was? Is that what it was? Because I've had so many people DM me and be like, "What actually happened with him?" I'm like, I have no clue. I have no idea.
There were multiple interactions or altercations at school, and one of them
went a little too far.
Yeah, put it over the line, whereas some repercussions.
And let's just call a spade here. Somebody like Tyron Stokes, I don't care where you go to high school, and I think he goes to Notre Dame was a really good high school. They're going to give you more than 3 strikes. Mm-hmm. They're going to let you probably have all 27 outs before they eventually have to say, like, dude, what are you doing here? So it must have been pretty bad, and that's unfortunate for Stokes. But it almost takes us back to here's one thing, and Jacob, you know this from covering recruits. These kids have not been, and I don't want to get inside Tyron Stokes specifically. I'm talking broad, just 5-star talent players. But these kids are never told no. They've been told yes their entire lives. They've been told how great they are, that they're the next amazing LeBron James. And I think when they get older and some kids enjoy riling and, know that, oh, you're going to be a big star, well, I'm going to say something to you to get a reaction out of you. They don't know how to handle it. And they're immature because they're not fully adults just yet. Going back to the Zach Calzada situation, he's not a 17-year-old kid. He's 25 years old. That's part of the reason why it was so embarrassing for him. Stokes is a kid, seemingly an immature one, who hopefully will get more mature. And these are life lessons. We all aren't at our worst. So I would very much want him in blue and white. I don't think this would be any reason to move on from him. Is it a good thing? No, it's not a good thing. But I would rather have a guy be too aggressive than have to pull the aggression out of them. DJ Wagner got into a huge brawl during his high school, and I think Bradshaw was on that team as well. That didn't lead to anything specifically to their time at UK. Bradshaw, I think, does have – he's got an interesting background. But DJ Wagner was a tough guard. Probably played more than he should have his freshman year at UK, but he was a tough dude, and he still is at Arkansas. So this doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all, don't bring him in, don't bring a kid in like that. That's just my 2 cents on it, Jacob.
I think what this does is, at the end of the day, all 3 of the schools involved knew Tyron Stokes, know who he is. I don't think that this thing came out of nowhere and completely surprises any of these schools. But what it does is, if you're one of the 3 schools and you don't feel as good about where you stand in this recruitment, this gives you the opportunity to publicly back away from the recruitment, saying, look at what just happened. We don't want to be involved, when it could really just be, hey, we don't feel as good and we don't want it to look like a recruiting miss.
You're saving face for sure. That's a really good point, and coaches will take that opportunity any given chance. Could this drive down his price at all in the nil game?
Potentially. I don't see that driving it down any significant number. I think the real question is, does this force a team to try and take him second semester? He's now without a home, and it kind of hurts his leverage of now he's looking for a place to be. And that place could be at a college if he's able to get his high school diploma and make that happen. Obviously, we're on a time crunch starting November 7th, and it's not super easy to go get your high school diploma in a second. So it does open up some options, but those options are all difficult to obtain, I'd say.
How would you, we won't hold you to it, how would you guess it plays out for Stokes in regards to his next 5 months? Hopefully no more fights.
I would say the 2 most likely options are A, he enrolls in a college, second semester, red shirts, uses that to train, kind of be in more of a structured program and prepare for the fall. Or B, he goes to a prep school that's willing to take him, and he plays and makes his college decision and goes to school in the fall. I think both instances, the likely outcome is he's still playing college basketball for the first time next fall.
So option 1, Shaden Sharp, or option 2, the old Ben Simmons.
It's Shaden Sharp, because that gets brought up to me.
It sure does.
I should address that, because I think the real difference here is I don't see a viable path right now. Obviously, transcripts, things can change, things can get wonky, but right now I don't see a viable path for him to be able to be in the 2026 NBA draft, especially because he's been shown to be playing high school football in the fall. So it would take Notre Dame High School basically admitting that they played an ineligible player to say that he
graduated early,
because he has to be a year removed from high school to enter the 2026 draft.
Great point. I guess there could be an option though where he could redshirt and then pursue another professional option elsewhere, but he'd be leaving money on the table at that point, almost certainly.
Yeah, he's going to get
unless the Shanghai Sharks came in with a $100 million contract or something like that.
At the end of the day, I think conversations are happening as we speak right now. Schools are trying to figure out how to play this. People close to Stokes are figuring out how to play this, and so anything that we guess is pure speculation right now.
Well, that's fun to do on radio, though, right? Is do a little speculating. Do you, with all of this, at the end of the day, when the dust settles, do you still feel solid about UK's position, or has this changed things in the recruitment?
I still feel solid about UK's position. Things could come out in the next couple weeks that maybe UK pivots and moves on, but right now I think that they're still the front runner in this recruitment.
And if I was an immature kid with potentially some anger issues, and maybe I couldn't think of anybody better than Mark Pope to guide you, mold you, and get your bleep together. That is the nicest man in the world. I think he'll bring out some good.
Will that work? Because Cal, the way he treated DeMarcus, that seemed to work. And Cal was very tough on DeMarcus. And, Cal would chew him out. And I think that's what DeMarcus kind of needed, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he needed just because these kids just are not told no. And they've had they've had very little tough love in their life. And at some point, they just need it. I think Cal was great from a disciplinarian standpoint, but I don't know Stokes' situation just based off the very little that I've heard. He may need a softer Pope just to kind of like give him a hug.
He may need
show
a
him some
therapist.
love.
He actually probably needs to go to therapy.
Therapy's great for everybody. We should have a therapy sponsor.
I mean, Tyron, he had some stuff happen in his life, right? That, I mean, like, it doesn't excuse everything, but you at least can see where some of this anger comes from. Is that fair?
Yeah, I don't want to speculate too much on his personal life, but what I'll say with Pope is this would be maybe the biggest test for Pope is you bring in this kid, number one player in the country, super talented, but is obviously having some issues at his school, and this is like, all right, put up or shut up. You have proved that you can make the most of this situation and utilize the big NIL money that you have.
That's fascinating because at that point, Pope is staking a lot on this. And it's not in the nil era. It's so different. It's not, well, you would not take in this 5-star. Everybody, when Brian Bowen committed to U of L, Rick Pitino lied and was like, he fell into our laps. What were we supposed to do? Say no to this 5-star player? But now with nil, it's not just bringing in a star talent. It's bringing in a star talent for millions. I mean,
it's an investment.
Oh, it is. So if it blows up in Pope's face, that will not go well for him. That will be bad. He'll get a lot of scrutiny, and rightfully so. So he needs to be sure that these issues, he needs to vet Stokes and feel good about it to the point that he's kind of putting his reputation on him.
Yeah, I don't know if there's, from my memory, I don't remember a player that is this high risk, high reward for a college team where you bring in a player like this that could be awesome, number one pick, could be a guy that you show recruits to for years of, hey, I coach that guy.
Yep.
Or could just explode in your face.
Well, I think you just have to hope that the culture you've built up, because I would say the locker room culture has been excellent these last year and whatever we've had so far this season. So you just have to hope that he gets acclimated to that culture, right? And that he'll have guys who have now been a part of the program for several years that can say, this is how we do things here. And it could work out. I mean, the thing that I wonder is, how does this kid handle adversity? This is a tough place
Seemingly
for adversity.
Not well.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Physically.
What happens when he has a couple? Because, I mean, if you're going to play 40 games, you're going to probably have a few bad ones, maybe a few bad ones in a row, especially as you're learning the system and you're getting acclimated to everything in this college life. How is he going to handle that? How is he going to handle it
when it's magnified by 1,000 at UK?
When a fan goes into his Snapchat and says, "We're paying you how much?" Like, how is he? What is he? How is he going to handle that?
Yeah. And didn't Cal at some point have a rule like no social media for his players and whatnot?
That should universally be like, just get your players off of social media. It's got to be so unhealthy.
I believe in freedom, so I don't want that, but I do think it'd be wise advice just to not log on for a few months, right?
Yeah,
but I wouldn't want to enforce it. I don't want it like them to make that own decision and not enforce it. But that's this is all fascinating to me. And my next question is just going to be: at what point does Pope just say, "Hey, Caleb Holt, like, come take this money real quick. Like, come take the money, and then if Stokes wants to join you, fine. But like, let's you're priority number one now."
Yeah, and I get asked that all the time. It's like, at what point does Pope pivot to Caleb Holt? Mm-hmm. And I just don't think it's that simple, because it's not like they haven't been recruiting Caleb Holt. They've been recruiting him very hard. They are really in this recruitment, and maybe they can up the NIL money. Maybe they can.
Well, that would be, I think, what the response is. Like, all right, Stokes, we were going to pay you this much, but your offer may now be this, and we're going to give that over. You wouldn't say that to Stokes, but like, hey, you're getting some of that Stokes money, Holt.
Yeah, and I think that it's an interesting position because by all talk, Stokes has been a player that people expect to sign early. Maybe this changes things, but that's been the consensus since the summer, since his mom said the plan is to sign before high school season, or to commit before high school season. Holt is a guy that is planning to commit in the spring. He's taking his time with this. I don't expect anything quick from Caleb Holt. I think he's taking his time to make a decision. So it's almost like, do you go and put your effort in a guy that you're going to be recruiting for another 4 months and just go all in on him where you already have been recruiting him, or do you just go and try and close this guy where now, hey, maybe some schools are going to try and save face and duck away from the recruitment. So I think that it's really I don't want it to come off as a non-answer here, because I think it's a tough situation where it's not as simple as, okay, we're done with Tyron Stokes, let's go land Caleb Holt. I think you're recruiting both of them, and you just have to strategically go about it.
You're talking to the right audience. I covered recruiting for 8 years. I know that it's fluid and it's not as easy as just, well, then go do that. I totally get it. Well said. Jacob Polachek here with Kentucky Roll Call on your Friday on Big X Sports Radio. I want to remind you about our friends at Salsaritas. Hopefully you enjoyed Nacho Day yesterday, $5 nachos at Salsarita. They've always got the best prices. Download the Salsaritas app. 3 locations in the Louisville area, Middletown, St. Matthews, out I-65 in Bullitt County. Catering, no party too big or too small for Salsaritas. So if you're going out tailgating for the Cats and Gators, or the Cards are at home, go ahead and get you some Salsaritas. They'll get you all set up. They'll bring it right to your house, or you can go pick it up at the store. It'll be waiting for you. They're such a friendly staff. They'll even help load it into the car at Salsaritas. And good weather tomorrow. Maybe a good day to hit up that St. Matthews patio out there.
Good weather? How about Lexington? What's Lexington's weather?
It's going to be good tailgating weather. It's probably going to be your last of 2025. It may be your last nice little catter day to get outside and enjoy it. So how do we expect the crowd for UK Florida tomorrow? I would imagine it would not be good. Would not be good at all.
I mean, I don't know. I could see where it's not going to be sold out. It's not going to be. We haven't had any of the. We haven't had a sold out game. I mean, maybe they sold it out, but we haven't had a game yet where it was even close to every spot being occupied. I still think it'll be a decent crowd. Because I know Tennessee fans helped a lot 2 weeks ago. But I think it's your last big game. For a lot of people, this is the last game they're going to see this season. Like you said, it's the last chance this year to end that losing streak to Power 4 teams. And we got a winning streak against Florida on the line. So, and a chance to get to a bowl game if you win. It's just a weird spot to be in for Kentucky fans, because I was excited about the Auburn game. TJ, I know you were too. I didn't feel like that was reciprocated by a lot of Kentucky fans.
I wasn't that excited about it.
I was there, so there's obviously like
you didn't want to go. You were saying how it was
because I thought they were going to lose.
Well, I didn't. I actually thought they had a decent chance.
Well,
to
I
win.
did too, but I didn't think they were going to
predict it. But I thought I thought the game would go down similar how it was. But
I am not in that camp. I want Kentucky to win, and I want to go to a bowl game. Like I know that might seem short-sighted to some people, but dude, I hated last season where I got used to going to bowls and then watching everybody else do it, and I know it's gonna be like we're gonna go to Memphis or
not that you get excited about the Mickey Mouse Bowl or anything like that, but it's better than the alternative. It means you won more games throughout the season. A texter's got a question for Jacob Polachek. Can't Stokes go to the G League this year and then just go to college next year?
Well, there's no longer the G League Ignite, and so he would have to enter the draft, which he can't do.
So they did shut down G League Ignite?
G League Ignite no longer exists.
Okay.
So
Plus, then he would just go to Louisville.
I was gonna say, can he go to the G League and then go to Louisville afterwards?
He can go to the NBL and was it New Zealand? He can go overseas, but there's no real pathway that's NBA related that isn't entering the draft.
Okay. Good to know. Another texter says, Calzada is a dork for the video, but Garrett Guy is a huge loser for harassing players on social media.
Yeah. How old is Garrett? He called in to KSR earlier today, so I'm interested.
He was tweeting me earlier today, and
it doesn't really matter.
Did the KSR crew give him some crap and say don't do that?
I haven't got a chance to listen yet, so I'm gonna do that probably on my way to Lexington tonight. But I don't know how old he is, and if he's like a younger kid, I could, whatever. Any adult that ever tweets at or gets into DMs of players, losers. Every single one.
Yep.
Unless you're saying great game, and I wouldn't even do that.
Just every time they play, great game.
Yeah. Unless you're saying something nice, that is such loser stuff. Even
Jacob,
professional
that honestly, that was part of the reason that drove me to get out of the recruiting business because I just hated having to slide into teenagers' DMs. It was tough.
Yeah.
Whoa,
It was
calm down there, TJ.
It was just tough.
I hated it too.
Don't cut that out of context. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. That's not a good one.
I didn't specify the teenagers.
Can I tell you what Tennessee told me to do when I was doing the scout?
McDonald's money bags.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But no, this is literally how I was trained. They said, don't tell them who you are. Just say, hey, what's up? Because they might think it's a girl and they'll respond to you.
Oh, what? But would they just look at your picture and be like, well, that's not.
Well, it was text message.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I guess they could Spokio it.
I don't
that's
want
a good- that's
to
a good
comment
point.
on
Text
any
message.
other media members' tactics or.
Isn't that terrible?
I don't agree with doing that.
That is
I think That is
awful.
a terrible idea.
Just saying, hey, what's up?
Hey,
Scout
what's
doesn't
up?
exist anymore, by the way.
Yeah, I would not recommend doing that.
Yeah, but even if you get a response, I mean, at some point you got to
have
give
to
up
say
the
who
ghost.
you are.
Like it's not, you can't be like, well, hello.
I asked, like, how long am I supposed to pretend to be a teenage girl?
Did Adam Zagoria just catfish his interviews by chance? Is that how he got so many of them? What was it like working for Zagoria?
Oh, Zags is great. I
Yeah.
loved working for him because he is very straightforward with you. So there's no like, there's no questioning anything you put out. It's like, hey, Zags, do you think I should post this? It's nobody cares. Or should I post this? Yes, do it. And it's just very like quick and it's straightforward. I really enjoyed working with Zags because you never were in question.
What's he doing nowadays?
He's still writing for.
Not ultimate frisbee. Absolutely. Texter says, TJ, did you share your ribs with John and Tony last night at the St. X game? So, unfortunately, I didn't actually go to the St. X game and bring an entire rack of ribs to the game.
Yeah.
But it was a funny little bit that we did on the radio. So then I tweeted St. X, like a picture of a rack. I just Googled a rack of ribs.
Yeah.
But then I went to my dad's for dinner last night, and he, not for me, but he had gotten a full rack of ribs.
No
I'm like,
way.
well, this is too cool. Like, I need to take a picture with this.
Yeah.
But people did actually think that I tried to go to St. X with like a whole thing
Great.
of ribs, which would have been hilarious. I probably should have given it a shot. St. X, they won. I forget who they played, but they won 4
Played Southern.
Southern, yeah. They got to go back to just the champion and the runner-up making the playoffs. I know they want everybody to have a participation ribbon and feel like you're in the postseason, but I promise, well, I can't say I promise you, but I feel like if I were a Southern athlete and I knew that we didn't have a great season or just an athlete of a team that didn't finish champion or district runner-up, I'd rather just move on to my next sport or my next endeavor than to have to lose 49-0.
Bad take.
Why? What are you getting out
You
of
got to
that?
think like 95% of these athletes are not going to go D1. They're probably not going to play college ball at all. This like for the seniors, this is their last time playing football in general.
It should have been in the district playoffs. It should have been through the season.
I think what I have the most quarrel with is like the teams that forfeited. Like imagine you're the senior, right? Your team's not very good. And your coach or athletic director just comes out and is like, yeah, these kids don't care. We don't want to play anymore. Okay, well, I care. Like, I want my family to come out and see my last football game ever. Like, I don't know. I think it's a decision you let the kids make. Like, it's high school sports.
That's senior day. And, I mean, it's not just like going out there and hitting a ping pong ball. I mean, they can get hurt. And they're going against people that may
still want to play.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they all do. But, yeah, maybe you're right. You just leave it up to the players. But I don't think you need to have them get embarrassed an extra game. Just let their senior night be their kumbaya goodbye to the sport.
I mean, they could possibly win. Like, give them the competitive edge. The 16 seeds don't forfeit in March Madness.
Well, it's not comparable. It is. I promise you, it's not comparable. But that being said, you're entitled to your opinion, and producer Matt, I always like hearing your opinion.
I always love when TJ gives that you're entitled to your opinion. It is like, yes, you are wrong, but I appreciate
That's
that
the
you can
TJ
talk.
version of the like, oh, God bless your heart.
Yeah, it is. 100%.
It is my way of just being like, I disagree, but I respect that you have an opinion.
It's nice.
That's different than mine. By the way, a buddy at the other station, David Skoll, the biggest biscuit, he had a tweet that I just could not agree more with. He said, I've got minus 250 on a Cason Pryor, Brandon Garrison dust up Tuesday night, line moving down. That should be minus 10,000. That is a guarantee, and I'll go ahead and take it a step further. They'll both get teed up. Brandon Garrison and Cason Pryor getting a technical on Tuesday. The crowd will go ballistic. It'll be a fun moment. Let's hope it doesn't turn into anything ugly. Let's hope it's just like a chit-chat back and forth. But that is the guarantee of all guarantees. Those two dudes are going at it.
We need it. We need the DeMarcus Cousins, the Eric Bledsoe, Swapshire. What was the Shane Bohannon got a technical in one of the games?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what this rivalry needs. This is a rivalry.
You remember the...
Are we going to see a Pope-Kelsey fight?
I was just saying that should be the halftime show.
I did a spot earlier today, and they asked, like, is the kumbaya of the rivalry over with? I was like, after Tuesday, I guarantee you it is.
Yeah.
I think the little dust-up and recruiting in the summer was, like, the start of it. And after the game at U of L, that'll change Pope's opinion about Kelsey, I think.
I'm interested to see how Louisville fans are on Tuesday when I'm in the building. Like, I'm interested to see the energy in that fan base has not been like this in a long time. And
that's just not true.
I mean, no, it's true.
They sold out against Pittsburgh and did a stripe out last year against Pittsburgh.
No, that's fine.
Because it was Jalen Lowe.
Oh, yeah,
that
Jalen
star. You wanted to see a star.
The intensity. This year is way more intense because last year you sold out.
You all were just kind of happy to be back last year, Childress.
This is like we want to go to a Final Four. We want
a Final Four.
Yeah, we have big aspirations for this season. So I'm interested to see when that game gets tight because I do think it will be close for most of the game and just what that building is going to feel like. I got to experience it in 2019 was like the last time when both teams were I guess it was the 2018 game, 2018-19 season. Both teams were pretty good, and it was. I'd never been in the building for that game. I didn't like going to this game. Like when I was younger, people offered tickets. Like I don't want to be in the building for this one.
Bad take. Bad. Go to the game.
No,
it's sports.
It is. But this game, and I know, like, if you live in Jefferson County, you're just surrounded by Louisville fans, and you can't help but as a Kentucky fan, just hate them. Like you want them to lose every game.
I don't hate them. It's a rivalry. It's fun.
It's sports hate, but I don't.
Fun.
But I don't want Kentucky to lose this game. Like
well,
this one matters to me more than the other ones. If you're going to lose a game in the non-con, it can be anybody else. Just for me, not Louisville. But as you said, this is not a universal take for Kentucky fans. Depending on where you live in the state, you might think Cincinnati is a bigger rival. You might think Tennessee.
Well, that'd be a bad take if you had Cincinnati.
But some people don't.
You are right. It is geographical. There's no doubt about that. Mike on the YouTube stream says, sorry if this was already addressed. Wanted to ask Jacob that I know Stokes is the highest rated, but is he the most important recruit? And he says, thanks. Is Stokes Pope's most important recruit?
I think in a lot of aspects, yes. I think that he has to show that he can land his top target. Like Stokes has been clearly Kentucky's top target throughout this whole cycle. And yes, they could shift and make Caleb Holt their number one target in the class, but I think that this is Pope's chance to show that he can get his number one high school target. And all of that to say is, if they miss on Caleb Holt and they miss on Tyron Stokes, I still think they're going to have a very good roster next season. I think that they have money and they're going to spend it on good players, and the portal is just is a constant backup plan, I'd say, and that doesn't even do it justice. It's like you always have the transfer portal to add quality guys, and you're always going to have a good team if you're Kentucky. But I think Pope needs to show that he can narrow in on a guy. This is the guy I want, and can land him.
Yep, I can build the relationship. I can get the money. That's right. I can get a role that seems to make sense. Well said. He's Jacob Polachek of On 3. We've got one final segment of Kentucky Roll Call coming up next on Big X Sports Radio. Billy Shrinks Friday, baby.
inside out to think of what I've done, boys, to think of what I've done.
Welcome back. One final segment, Kentucky Roll Call here on Big X Sports Radio. I don't think my voice is going to make it through the weekend,
Are
unfortunately.
you a werewolf?
My voice was worse than Ben Roberts, I would imagine, and I did a radio show. It was horrible. Bad decision on my part. But I got a post-game show tonight over at ESPN 680 after UK takes on Valpo. We'll get going right around 9 o'clock. We'll have to get one of you guys to call in one of these post-game shows. And then tomorrow night, after the UK-Florida game, that one not getting started till like 11:15. Those are the late ones. So hang out with me one or both nights. I always appreciate it. I appreciate Jacob Polachek being in studio with Kentucky Roll Call on this Friday. Get your text into the Gameday Men's Health text line, 502-414-1450. Producer Matt, why don't you tell everybody about Gameday Men's Health?
Gameday Men's Health is great. You know, it helps you weight loss, peptides, sexual performance therapy, whatever you need, they got you, man.
Well done.
That's all I got.
Well done. What's the website?
GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
All righty. Should I go to the UK U of L game Tuesday night if I have to leave early to go do the post-game show?
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
Yeah, if
We're just guys talking.
if you're comfortable with being in there with the chance that Louisville just hits 25 threes, then yeah. You
I
should
had a great streak of going to this game, especially in Louisville. It was probably about a 20-year streak, but didn't go, obviously, during the pandemic. So I love it. It's my favorite game to go to. When UK plays in Louisville, it's my favorite because I only have to drive, 10 minutes to the game and not an hour and 20 minutes to the game. So I do love going, but I feel like that it'd be like leaving a movie before you find out what happens. I think that aspect of it kind of sucks.
This will be my first ever UK road game. So
But that's not
Wow, interesting.
That's not entirely true because they usually don't have the movie playing on the radio when you get in the car.
That's fair, but like I would pay money to be at this game, so
Right,
is that just a waste of money to go watch something, be a part of it, and then with about 10 minutes to go, I'd have to dip.
TJ, can you post your post game show link when it's archived so I try to listen on my way home.
Well, it's podcasts.
just pre-record the post-game show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've tried that. Didn't go.
You're just doing the
St.
intro.
Peters, Oakland.
Do your take right now if Kentucky were to lose the game, and then real quick, 30 seconds, Kentucky loses. Go.
Against Valpo?
Against Louisville.
Oh, on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh,
What would that sound like?
see you in March.
It's quick. All right. Well, all right. What happens if they win? What do you say?
Kentucky owns Louisville. There was never a doubt.
What about a tie?
Tie? Like kissing your sister. 502-414-1450. We've got a couple more texts from folks in here. What did we tease that segment with? Did we tease it with something? Were we going to talk about something?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Good. Okay. South End Josh here, little sister, and that bum Pryor completely embarrassed themselves. That's fine. I'd be desperate too if I had only seen 6 wins over UK in the last 25 years. Clown behavior. Producer Matt, could you play the Case and Pryor audio after U of L's dominating win over whatever terrible Jackson State team they played yesterday?
Is it bleeped?
We'll find out.
See you guys Tuesday. After a win.
It was bleep.
There you go.
Was it?
I mean, I don't even know. They could have just played that noise. Right?
Yeah,
We'd have
yeah.
no idea if that was a part of it or not. But
he did
that
say-
was Case and Pryor saying, see you Tuesday.
After a win.
After a win, bleep them. Bleep them.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Let's go. I'm so excited that this rivalry is back. Now, I'm a little nervous for Tuesday. TJ, I'm not going to lie. Like, you would have to be if this game matters to you, and it matters to me. I've said this several times. I said it in the last segment. This is the game I'm scheduling every year, like, when I was growing up. All my friends were Louisville fans. Do you know how much that sucks if they win? And thankfully, they never really do. Since Obama took office, which was what, TJ, 2009?
Yes.
Louisville is 3-15 against Kentucky with a point differential of 152. Kentucky has absolutely dominated this series, so it's been a lot of fun, and it is probably why I look forward to the game because it's just we get to dunk on the rival. But this is the first time in a while, because even during COVID, I just was not locked in to that team. But this is the first time, and I thought they'd win in 2016-17. I'm going back a decade that I thought, man, Kentucky may not win. I still think that they might. And by the time we get to Tuesday, I will already have convinced myself they're going to. But this is the first time in a long time, TJ. What am I doing? I'm going to turn around here. This is the first time in a long time that I'm a little nervous going into it. Are you?
I'm not nervous in the sense, like, the game's going to happen one way or another, and if UVall wins, we'll take our medicine, but the sun will rise the following morning. I think Louisville can definitely win. I think they'll be favorites when the game tips off. I think they'll be a 1 or 2 point favorite when it's all said and done. Yeah, they can definitely win the game. But I do have this I've got a gut feeling we are going to see this matchup in March. I think they're going to play in March.
Again.
And it's going to happen, I think, a little bit more frequently. And by the way, it happened in 14. It happened in 12. It hasn't been totally infrequent, and Louisville hasn't been past the first round of the tournament but once since 2015. So you got to make it to be able to advance and play against somebody. But I've got to, with the SEC getting more teams, that means they have to be a little bit more strategic about where teams are. And I think you are going to see it. I don't know if it'll be like a 2-3 matchup or a 1-3 or a 1-4, but I think they'll be in the same region with a potential to meet in March. And I think they'll say, yeah, that game on November 11th, we don't care about that. We don't care about a potential rematch because it was so long ago. So I think we'll see him again, and I'll give more predictions on Tuesday because we can't overlook Valpo. I hate when media members or fans say that. We can absolutely overlook Valpo. I have nothing to do with Valpo. But that being said, that game tonight, what do you all want to? What do you think? What do you want to see from UK? What would be a good sign of some progress?
Let's make some threes this game.
Want Jalen Lowe to get through a game healthy?
Because here's the deal with Jalen Lowe playing today. The excuses no longer exist. Now you might be able to say, well, we don't. Is Trent Noah? He's not going to play, right?
No.
Okay, so you don't have the excuses that, okay, well, we couldn't really get our guys good looks. Now I guess we can say, well, we didn't have Trent Noah.
Reese Potter.
No Reese Potter and no Braden Hawthorne. But, yeah, they need to make some threes today. Because as Brandon Ramsey mentioned on our show, whenever day that was, Tuesday or Wednesday, he said that there was a stretch of games last season, like a 6-game stretch where Kentucky shot like less than 27% from three. But when they did that, we'd already had enough evidence that this team could shoot the ball pretty well. So we weren't ready to say that they weren't a good shooting team. We need to see evidence that this team can make shots so that we can have a little more confidence in how we because this is our game plan, right? Shooting threes.
Yeah, I just want to see some flow to this offense, and I think Lowe brings that back. I think the offense at times has looked clunky is the word that I'd say. And I think that Ortega's the one that I'm really watching because I think that his game can be unleashed in a whole different way if Lowe really maintains that facilitator role and that point guard position.
Evan Maikawa, friend of the program, he has Kentucky as a 29.7 point favorite, so 30-point favorite. The Vegas line is 32.5, so you may be getting a good number on Valpo there. The over-under 157.5. That is right on par with Vegas, so they are synced up. He's got 154, so he thinks it'll be a little less scoring than Vegas has it tonight. But 7 o'clock at Rupp Arena, and I agree with these guys. In the world of college basketball, Kansas at UNC tonight. I don't know if that's actually a true road game.
I think they're both on actual campuses. Like
are
the
they?
big game. I could be wrong. Let me double check. But I think I read somewhere they're both on actual campuses today.
Well, if I'm on the betting app. If I've got to another one, I could get it up here real quick. Oakland will go to Purdue. Oakland's not good, so Purdue will beat them. That game is at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill for Kansas, North Carolina. North Carolina given 1.5 in that one. And then just a bunch of garbage games everywhere else. So
EIU.
Nothing too exciting anywhere else.
EIU will take on Nichols in their second round matchup of the BBN United Tip-Off Classic presented by Kentucky Tourism. That game is at 8 o'clock. Any takes on that one, guys? No, okay, we can move on.
No takes on that one. A text into the show. Listening a bit today, call me crazy, but I'd much rather beat Duke, Indiana, and Carolina than U of L. A big part of that is the only U of L fan I know and have ever met is Trevor, says one texter. Well, that's a great U of L fan to know and meet, by the way, is Trevor Kelsey. We love Trevor Kelsey. Do you all agree with that? I would give just a hearty no.
Yeah, my Twitter mentions very much disagree.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Duke is a rival. All those blue bloods are a rival, but I'm just saying if you live in this city and everybody you've worked with, people you go to school with, your friends, even your family, pull for Louisville,
I also think this year's amplified to a whole nother level of last year. It was like first year both coaches, it mattered, but it also was their first year. They were playing with house money a little bit, both of them. Now it's you had your time to build really good rosters, both top 10 teams, and there was just a fight over the offseason between your two coaches. So I think that now this year is more important than ever for this rivalry as far as these two coaches.
Will Louisville, they're 11th now, is that right? Will they be a top 10 team on Tuesday, do you think? I mean, who would they have to jump? And I don't know. I mean, nobody's probably going to lose.
Florida? They may drop.
Oh, okay. Well, they were third, though, so I don't know how far they're going to fall.
So maybe not top 10, but
I know the reason I asked, they might because Louisville's looked really good. You're talking about one spot, so we'll see what the AP voters have. But I'm trying to think of the last time that these two teams were inside of the top 10 when they played each other. Because I don't know if 2017 that was even the case, or the 2016. I keep saying the 2016-17 season.
Maybe U of L jumps Texas Tech just because they put up over 100 points in their first two games, potentially. I don't think that's impossible.
I don't think they're going to move them.
Villanova, who's number 8. So
another text into the show. KRC, the text line was messed up this morning. Scoot said my text was coming in blank. I have UK winning by 25 tonight. Oh, so you got Valpo covering. Also, Zach Calzada can count his money, but he can also count his time on the bench. He's an embarrassment to the football program. We'll got to go talk to you later. It wasn't a good moment for him, but he'll learn from it, unfortunately. A hard lesson for him, for sure. Another texter on the Game Day Men's Health text line says, Zach Calzada dreams of the day that he wakes up. Oh, no, we read that one already. Sorry. I used to have basketball season tickets to Rupp back in the early 2000s upstairs, and there was this one guy who wore U of L gear to every game. He became everyone's friend. Like, oh, look, there's the U of L guy again. It was always friendly banter. You should rep your squad. Yeah, if I'm going, my wife's a U of L fan, so we go to U of L games frequently. I'm not going to wear a UK shirt to a U of L Purdue game just because I don't care that much to do it. But if I wanted to and I felt the need to do it, I've got every damn right to do it. And on the flip side, if somebody wanted to say something to me,
they have a right.
They have a right to do that as well. But to actually get worked up about it, to like, ooh, I need to go home and write about it on my own social media account. This really bugged me today. Somebody wore a shirt.
They used to get, I know from my friends who went to Kentucky who were Kentucky fans, that they wear Kentucky gear on campus and get a talking to, apparently.
My roommates in college were U of L fans, and they'd wear their U of L gear around campus.
Nobody cared.
Such was life. Yeah. Come on, TJ. The people wearing UK gear to U of L games 100% do it for the attention. They aren't the bigger losers. It's not just a shirt to wear your team's gear to a rival's game that doesn't include you. No, they are not the bigger losers than the person getting upset about it. I'm sorry. It's just, yes, they may be looking for attention by doing that. They may also just like their UK shirt, and they just want to wear it to the game. Oh, it's a college football game? My favorite college team is UK. Not everybody gets that in-depth about it. But to get so worked up and bothered by it does make you, unfortunately, a huge and giant loser.
Can I actually ask a serious question? Why did people get so angry because Louisville fans were chanting "Beat UK"?
It's just kind of little brother behavior. I don't think people are angry about it.
I mean, I saw a lot of people on Twitter getting quite upset about it.
Well, I can't speak. You got to ask them directly, I suppose. But U of L, by the way, U of L always does that.
They do, and I will say this in their defense: it's a rivalry game. Do I have to pretend like that it doesn't matter to me to be a Kentucky fan? The game matters to me.
You were playing another opponent. That other game was going on. And
it was over.
But UK fans throw the L's down against every opponent on TV.
We literally, that is our hand signal.
First off, I don't think it's universal that you have a collective, all right, everybody on the count of 3, put your L's down. Sometimes you'll get an occasional fan that will flash it. Which that's fine. That you'd have to ask that person their psyche behind it. But an
a
entire,
rivalry,
but an
fun.
entire student section, an entire lower bowl getting in on it, I just think it's little brother behavior.
I don't think
That's such a bad
I don't
take.
think we will hear it tonight in Rupp Arena,
I don't
but I'm
know
not
how
going
you
to be
think it's
embarrassed
bad.
if
Who
I
else does that, producer Matt? Where else does that happen?
Kentucky does that. When
When?
every single time you show a
Okay,
Kentucky fan, they throw the L's down on
Again,
TV, no matter
once
who they're
again,
playing.
I just batted down that terrible take.
But you
You're talking
can't
about
bat
an
it down. It's the same thing.
No, it's not, because you're talking about an individual versus an entire group of. You're talking about thousands versus one. How does that not?
Okay, and just because Kentucky doesn't play Louisville next, Louisville plays them next. It's rivalry for Louisville fans.
If Kentucky fans collectively chant "beat U of L" during the game tonight, that is loser behavior.
That
and
is
I'll be
not at all. I would
disappointed.
love it. I
And
would love it.
And U of L does it every year, and you get your ass kicked
'Cause it's
every year.
fun.
And you get your ass
It's
kicked every year.
rivalry.
Switch it up. Try something different.
I will say, as the resident Kansas alum here, at Kansas games, even if Kansas State is not the team they're playing against, you will hear it a lot of some not kind words towards Kansas State.
Like
So-
what?
Oh, Kansas fans? I thought you were saying Kansas State fans. Oh,
No, Kansas fans just
Okay. they embrace the rivalry?
they embrace it, and I'm sure it's the same at Kansas State. So it's like
Kentucky's got bigger fish to fry than to worry about little old Louisville 24/7.
Someone's a little upset over there.
Nobody's upset about it, just factual. I think Kentucky gets 2 wins this weekend. Football, I think they win 13-10. Woo! Thank you so much, Jacob, for being in. Producer Matt, have a great weekend. Stephen Peak, TJ Walker, this is Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio.